Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a quick look at two fintech companies that have taken quite a hit during the crazy downturn we're seeing right now. I'm just going to share recent news for both these companies, recent earnings, and just my overall thoughts. The first one we're going to take a quick look at is SoFi. The second one we're going to take a quick look at is Square. If this is your first time here, guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and check out the pinned comment where I have 10 free stock ideas. And I also have this awesome newsletter where I share all the presentations I have of all the stocks that I'm covering. Again, completely free for you, and make sure to sign up. So like I mentioned, today we're starting off with SoFi. The stock price, as I am recording this episode, is up about 3%, but it's definitely been a crazy market, and I do believe volatility will continue, so there is possibility for more red days in my opinion. We can see from its 52-week high, or its most recent high, which happened in November 4th, stock price is down about 21.21%. And that's that earnings were super good. Let's just take a quick highlight on their earnings, right? SoFi reported revenue of $277 million, up 28% year over year, up almost 17% quarter over quarter, fifth quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. They also raised their full year guidance. Members increased by 96% year over year and 14% quarter over quarter. So SoFi, I mean, I did an earnings report on them. Again, the newsletter is free if you want to get that presentation. So company was very exciting, right? A lot of strong action after the company reported earnings. You can see a company jumped all the way to about $24 plus. So some recent news about SoFi on November 15th of 2021, there was a secondary offering, but the secondary offering is by selling stockholders. So it's not like the company is diluting shares or anything. Some of the big players just want to sell out of some position. And we finally had some updates on November 22nd. SoftBank Group reports that they did have market sales of about 22.5 million shares at a opening price of a market price of around $21.60. And here we can see since November 17th, numerous big players sold out. We can see SoftBank being one of the biggest, kind of selling out with 22 million shares, right? That's a nice amount of shares out right now, around that $21.60. But to put things in perspective, SoftBank is still a huge owner. They own about 11.81, and they still have about 95 million shares available. So I do want to say this kind of increased selling off of a lot of big players, plus the overall sentiment in the stock market right now, has really driven stock price on SoFi. SoFi is one that I don't have in my portfolio, but I'm not gonna lie, looking at it in those teens levels, it does look pretty attractive. I mean, if we take a quick look here at technicals, we can see SoFi right off the bat has some nice support here in this 18, around that 18, right? It can break at any times, but definitely looking pretty attractive. Do you want 10 free stock picks right now? Well, if you do, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 free stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beat the market by more than 4x. Go to fool.com/Jose to get your free 10 stock picks now. We also saw on November 17, 2021, some company analysts from Credit Suisse kind of increased their price target to $19 from $16.50 after a strong Q3 revenue. Like I mentioned, Q3 was super strong for them. They're seeing huge growth, huge ability to cross-sell, right? That's what they're seeing. They're seeing the ability to cross-sell their products really strongly, and that's what really drove a lot of this revenue growth. One of the biggest catalysts, in my opinion, for this is the student lending environment, right? Student lending right now is still down. Obviously, with stuff happening here in the United States, kind of like not that forgiveness, but the ability of zero interest rates right now into January. And even regardless with that kind of decrease or that environment still down, the company still reported strong numbers. So I can't imagine how strong numbers will be after things pick back up, but I believe that wouldn't be next quarter, that would be the quarter after that. So there's still some time, and sometimes for investors, 2 quarters away is still too far. But as long-term investor, that's pretty short-term in my opinion. The second one is actually a company that I own in Square. Like I said, right now, prices are green. We've been having a crazy day. In the past 5 days, Square lost about 8%. Right now, it's about 2.5%. I believe the sell-off might not be over, but I could be wrong, right? It could have happened already. I just believe the market could be volatile and any day it can shift on us. But we can see right now from its 52-week high, the stock has definitely seen better days. Square is down about 23.42%. And some things, Square announced some great new products in the past few days that I thought were pretty interesting. First, they kind of announced power of a photo studio, Square's photo studio app. So this application, let's say you have this picture, you sell stuff online and you want to take a picture of this sneaker. The application itself kind of removes the background and makes it more professional looking. Square says that, hey, the more professional your product looks and the more professional your photo looks, the more ability or the higher chance that product will sell. So Square has kind of made this application. This application, it's free. Anybody can use it, but so anybody can download it too. You don't have to use Square's platform behind it. But within this app, we are seeing a huge growth in individuals selling stuff online, the e-commerce market, and kind of this entrepreneur spirit. So what Square does is inside this app, you actually kind of cross-sell. Hey, if you want to use our payment system, you can use it. If you want to use our Square e-commerce, you can go ahead and kind of click this link to learn more about it. So even though the application is free, and I want to see a lot of people are probably going to be using it, it's going to give them the ability to cross-sell to small sellers, which I think was a smart move, but that could be anybody's take. The second thing is, if you guys remember, Square recently purchased Tidal, which was a music streaming platform. They announced new tier levels and kind of produced new ways for artists to kind of come into the platform. And right now, Tidal, the way Square does, I feel like they're very innovative in the future. And even though Tidal right now is only focusing in the music department, I do believe they want to increase it in form of content creation in the future. And I can see that being an optionality for Tidal. Right now, right, it gives a purpose. They give artists, consumers, different tier levels. Now they even have a free tier level if you want to just listen to Tidal. Again, that's probably going to bring a little bit more users to the platform. Then they also have higher subscriptions. But if you are a content creator, you have more ways of getting paid. And obviously, the more content creators you have coming into your platform, the more listeners of those content creators will also come to the platform. So it's kind of that wheel. I think this was also pretty interesting by Square. And finally, the last recent news about Square that I have is on November 16th of 2021, Square started marketing. Square marketing launches in Canada just in time for the holidays. This is pretty much a marketing tool to help businesses engage with their customers during the busy holiday sales. So again, we can see that Square is still expanding international, and even in markets that are very, very, I want to say, advanced like Canada, they still are releasing new products over time. So I want to say this is a huge optionality for Square. We saw 3 different things here, right? We saw something for the big businesses here in Canada with Square Marketing launching in Canada. We see something for the content creators in the audio world with these kind of new services Tidal is offering both to the consumer and the artist. And then we saw a way for Square to grab new users to their ecosystem in the seller ecosystem and more in the smaller business side with this kind of Square Photo Studio app and the ability that they can cross-sell. Square, they did report most recent earnings. I want to say maybe some investors weren't too excited. We can see gross profit didn't kind of decrease quarter over quarter, did increase year over year. Adjusted EBITDA increased year over year, but it's been previously increasing quarter over quarter. So obviously, quarter 3 is kind of a slowdown. Quarter 4 will probably be a bigger impact of how this company is really going. But still, I guess investors who are really wanting to see that kind of quarter over quarter growth. Year over year growth is still in those high double digits. Seller gross profit is still up year over year. Small increase quarter over quarter. Cash App up year over year, but a small decrease quarter over quarter. So it depends on how you're looking at it. I want to say something like this is very cyclical depending on the season and holidays. So you can't really compare it quarter over quarter, but this company had consecutive quarters of giving us quarter over quarter growth, where I think investors started to expect that a little bit more. If we take a quick look at technicals, I really like Square around this 200 price point, right? The closer it is to 200, around that 205, the more I like it. If this is your first time here, guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and check you guys out next time.